This is the fourth part of the introduction to the SimplexNumerica program. This time it is about the import of data. That means we want to import new data into an existing chart. This will overwrite the old data or append the new data. This is one of the possibilities in SimplexNumerica. You know the two possibilities from the introduction part 1, i.e. to create a chart with a thumbnail. This is a template in which data already exists. These data can easily be changed. The second possibility works like Microsoft Excel. You enter data into a table or load data from a file. Then you select these data and then call up an appropriate chart. But here we will execute the first possibility. That is, we will select a chart from the thumbnail window. Then we import our data into the chart. This data can be any arbitrary data columns. Only the format of the axes should match. For example, whether the scale is date or normal values does matter. The program cannot know what the data format should look like at the end. Luckily, 90% of the format can be manipulated in the settings dialog. But first we want to show you where you can find sample data. These data sample files are installed during the installation of SimplexNumerica. They are in the folder Sample Data. Now let's go through the files in this folder one by one, so that we can see how the data is or can be structured. Let's start with the simplest data, the file, sample6.csv. We will now load this file. We will use the physics chart from the thumbnail window. Then we call file import and import CSV file. Then we will go through the program successively and will get a filter dialog. Then we import the settings with the file into the program. Then we get a table display. Switch back to the graph and we see the data displayed as a graph in a chart. Now we select a polynomial as an example. Then we fit the data to this polynomial. We see the fill curve. Because it was also filled in the template, we see that the curve oscillates strongly. Therefore, we now take a B-spline, calculate this B-spline and see that our data is approximated. So now we want to import this time series data. We look for a template that fits to it. That means there is a time axis on the x-axis. The scaling is the same as our file we want to import. How the CSV file is structured we see in our settings dialog. This time we want to use the same x-axis for all graphs, so we select here for all axis and import it and let you adjust it, and we see that all x values are the same and for different y values OK it. Was my auto scale, and that never changes, although the program automatically changes the defined one. Now we go back to the algorithm we would be an interpolation and just select a Stefan's pin from there. German physicist byte, the one that is used to calculate all graphs and calculate all graphs scrollers, so we see that all three graphs are adjusted with this interpolation. Now we want to import and display the Excel file named cubic spline grid points. First without filter dialog and then with filter dialog. So next we want to import the content of a database. The easiest way to show this is to import a Microsoft Access database. During the installation of SimplexNumerica, the folder database was created. We open the file in Microsoft Access. Here you can see the table consisting of X and Y data columns. We now want to import this table from the database into SimplexNumerica.